Hi there, I'm Chris Stashew.
I'm Mike White.
And this is Father Malone.
And we're the hosts of Dreams for Sale, a once-a-month look at the Twilight Zone 1985. The reboot of the show that wasn't canceled. Well, it was... I guess it was canceled. I was going to say it wasn't canceled, so that's not fair. It was canceled, but it lasted more than 2 seasons. So there, Twilight Zone 2018 reboot. On this episode, we're going to be talking about 12 and 13 of Season 2, Time and Teresa Golowitz, and Voices in the Earth.
Oh, boy.
So Time and Teresa Golowitz is directed by Shelley Levinson. It's written by Alan Brennert and Park Godwin. It is based off of Influencing the Hell Out of Time and Teresa Golowitz, which was published in a Twilight Zone magazine, and it stars Paul Sand, Gene Barry, Grant Heslov, very young Grant Heslov, and a very young Gina Gershon as well. And it's about a Broadway composer who dies, meets the devil, goes back in time, and fucks with the timeline.
I think you meant this was directed by Shelley the Machine Levinson.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. That's right. That's my bad. You're right.
Oh,
what a big man you are. Let me give you a stick of gum and let me show you how to chew it.
So, Paul Sand, that guy shows up in the weirdest places. Yeah. I didn't realize that he went all the way back to Second City with, like, Alan Arkin. And, okay.
Yeah, if you had a screwball comedy in the 70s, at some point he was going to come in and say a few lines.
Oh, yeah. Or play a major role, like I remember him being in Holy Moses, and of course have quite a big player in Can't Stop the Music. But yeah, was he Condor Man as well? Am I remembering that correct?
Oh, I want to say yes. No, he was not Condor Man. That was the Michael Crawford, the eventual Phantom of the Paradise. He may have been in it.
Oh, okay. All right.
But good to see him here.
Segment?
Good.
Very good to see him.
Yeah, all the actors. It was good to see. Wallace Langham there. Wally Langham was also one of the teenage kids. Liked all of them. I liked the sentiment of the episode. I think overall. But I just thought it was maudlin, man. I mean, it's okay. It wasn't sort of like actively offensive, but it also just kind of felt like meh, particularly after the previous 2 episodes. And I know they liked in some way to sort of pad out in between like gut punch episodes, more sentimental episodes. But this season also gave us A Saucer of Loneliness, which avoided every maudlin pitfall that this one sort of jumps both feet into.
Can somebody explain what the Prince of Darkness, what his end game is here? Because I didn't get what Gene Barry was after.
He wants Paul Sand in hell playing music for them.
Yeah, that was
like once
because
a year.
Because he knows he's going to heaven. Because for once, this is a good person who dies in Twilight Zone, an abjectly good person. He dies, and the devil says, "Look, you're going to heaven, but we love your music." So he offers him the deal because he knows he makes the bet that he knows Bluestone is going to change the past. So he knows that the good people don't, the whatever heaven, angels, God doesn't like that. So he knows if he changes something, which he will, he's going to have to be in hell for a while. And they want him in hell to play music for him. I think it's actually pretty clever. I mean, I understand Father Malone's problems with it being a little saccharine and a little kind of
precious,
emotionally manipulative. It's emotionally manipulative in a way too, but I kind of liked it. I liked it a lot. I actually really liked it a lot. I'll defer to Richard Haddam, who we host Rankin' on Bass with. He was talking about watching something at 3 a.m. I, too, watched this at 3 a.m. And maybe watching it late at night under the influence wasn't the best, but I did watch it again today. And I liked it both times. I think it's fun. I think it's a fun segment. And it works as a whole story being told in 24 minutes.
Though it wasn't originally supposed to be 24 minutes, it sounds like there's a longer version of it.
Yeah, it's like that other segment that we talked about, Road Less Traveled. That was like cut down. Scenes were cut down and then they were included on the DVD release of the show.
No, I was just saying, so initially they were going to use the full hour for it before they got canceled and everything got split into half-hour episodes, basically.
Pretty much.
Yeah, really kind of messed with the timeline. I don't think that the Topsiders are too happy about that.
No, but that's what the devil expected, I guess. I mean, what's funny about this episode segment is while it is kind of emotionally manipulative and maudlin and whatever you want to level against it, it still tells an interesting story. Even if the story is a little, you stop one person from committing suicide, look how much of a change they make in the world. Like that in and of itself is a tad played out. Even in 87, it's played out.
Chris, I agree with you about the sort of the unusual take on the devil that they came up with, because we've had the devil appear a lot of times on this series and in popular entertainment, and he's always got the same motive. And here, the devil seems to have nothing but good motives. He wants this girl to be saved, and he wants better music in hell. So on that level, yeah, I do appreciate what the episode was striving for. It's just that those two segments are sort of beginning and ending the episode are wrapped around a NBC or ABC after-school special.
Yeah, I mean, again, I can see that 100%. I'm not even going to go as far as to disagree with you because it's 100% on nail on the head. But I like Gina Gershon's performance, which is strange because Gina Gershon is not good in most things.
Yeah, it depends on what you watch her in.
Yeah, I
all the stuff I've seen her in is Schwarzenegger. Not Raw Deal.
She was in Red Heat.
Cocktail.
Stupid. Face Off. Yeah.
Oh,
I really
Off.
liked her in Bound. And of course, she sells eating puppy chow like nobody's business in Showgirls.
Truly. I think she's a good actress, but she's one of these people, and it's just an idiosyncrasy of mine, that I just don't like them. Like, there's something about them I just do not like.
I think you said the same thing about her when she was on Tales from the Crypt, right?
Probably. Well, I definitely said it about her counterpart in my mind, which is Billy Zane. Billy Zane and Gina Gershon. Something about the pair of them makes me not like them. And I believe they were actually in a movie together. They're in a... Yeah, so there you go.
By the way, the Billy Zane thing, you mentioned it, and we both know where you mentioned it on the Demon Night episode.
Yeah. I mean, just these two. I don't know. I can't do anything with them. But having said that, I did like her performance here. Like I said, I don't think she's an unskilled actress.
The things I've seen her in, I haven't liked her a whole lot, so seeing her in this, I mean, again, she's probably in her late teens in this. What she would have been?
She's probably in her
early 20s.
Yeah, she got to be in her 20s. She had already been.
But she's good. She's really good. So is Grant Heslov. I mean, Grant Heslov is now more behind the camera as opposed to in front of the camera anymore. But he's also really good in this. So he plays a good version of that Paul Sand character.
It took me a while to realize that he was playing the Paul Sand character because he didn't look enough like Paul Sand. He looked like two shades darker than Paul Sand. Yeah.
I mean, good on them for just picking a good actor and not somebody who just resembles the lead. But, I agree with you. They couldn't be more dissimilar looking.
But it was nice seeing him as such a young man because, I mostly know him for stuff like, Enemy of the State and The Scorpion King.
True Lies.
Yeah, trying not to remember True Lies.
Oh, man.
I really dislike that movie.
I know. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't. I like it.
He played a character called Faisal in that movie, which, True Lies is just very, very anti-Arab to me. And, watching it was just very painful, just how anti-Arab it was.
And maybe I haven't seen it. I haven't even seen it in a while. Well, not you know of. You told Richard you're not Arabic. But
Right. But he says I could pass.
Yeah, he did. He was like, you could be part of the tribe, my friend.
I saw that movie in the theater. That was enough.
I mean, Tia Carrera.
Oh, foo-fa. Yeah.
And then that part where they
bad actresses.
And then that part where they drop the Uzi and it fires as it goes down the stairs. Classic James Cameron. Overly indulgent, makes no sense, and you forget about it once the movie's over. So James Cameron. outside of the maudlin tone of this segment, it's not bad, right? I think we're just you guys are a little less on it than I am. I think I enjoyed it more than y'all, right?
Yeah. You don't have to apologize for
No, I'm not going to.
Yeah, that I had to ask you what the segment is actually about, because I was just like, what is this end game? What's going on with the Prince of Darkness here?
Topsiders and below deckers. Like, get the fuck out of here. Let's call them what they are. Heaven and hell, man. I think I was like, you're the Prince of Darkness? What gave it away, dude?
Right. Well, I do like Gene Barry a lot, and it was nice to see him. He's a good nemesis for Columbo, so it was nice to see him again.
And Martians.
Yeah, and Martians. But I think it's better than the next segment.
Oh yeah, way better.
Oh, yeah.
Let's talk about that segment. It's called Voices in the Earth. So this segment is directed by Curtis Harrington, written once again by good friend of the Culturecast, or not Culturecast, good friend of this podcast, though he's not, because if he listened to this, he would not be happy. Alan Brennert, once again. And it stars Martin Balsam, once again, Jenny Agutter, and Wortham Krimmer. As Martin Balsam plays a professor who goes to Earth after Earth is... This is a planet called Earth. And they go to Earth after it's been destroyed. And then there's, like, ghosts or some shit. I don't know. Mike, you want to explain this episode to me? Because I didn't understand this one. So if you want to explain this one to me, I'm all ears.
So Will Smith brings his son with him on this journey. They crash into this planet. And at the end of the first act, that's when you find out that this is formerly Earth. And it's the most dangerous planet in the galaxy now.
Fuck.
This felt like this was before Star Trek The Next Generation rebooted, and we probably all remember how bad the first season of Star Trek TNG was. This felt like a cast-off from TNG. Like, hey, we're going to send you down to this planet, and you used to live here or something, but then Martin Balsam left, and so all these ghosts are kind of haunting him. I had a hard time figuring it out, but then somehow... because they can make the air breathable around Martin Balsam, he's just like, hey, what are you doing? Go out and restore the planet. And they do. And suddenly there's rain on Arrakis.
I was going to say there was blue sky on Mars. Yeah. It's the same stupid fucking thing.
It was bad.
So fucking disappointed that that's what this episode was. I really am.
That sort of attitude assumes that anything in the episode was good. I thought this was fucking garbage. It's just like all the worst tropes in sci-fi, particularly like late 60s, early 70s sci-fi, where love is the answer. Like this, we're going back to Earth, or I don't think it was clear. Obviously, Earth had been bombed out for some time, and Martin Balsam's character is just like that's his hobby, I guess. And now we're making room for like they're going to destroy Earth, I assume, for the superhighway.
I guess, yeah. I think there was some sort of placard that was posted. Yeah,
you guys are in the galactic right of way.
didn't go down to the bottom, to the basement of the city hall and look at the placard. Yeah.
Okay, and he's working, I guess, for a company that is effectively a scrap metal company, because they're just going to mine Earth for whatever, or like the detonation of it is what's going to pay them. So I'm not sure what the professor is doing aboard the craft in the first place. Then he meets these ghosts who are they concoct some sort of sci-fi reason that they're not actually gone, that they're sort of like somehow scientifically forced themselves, or like versions of themselves. Okay, clearly this wanted to be a feature film and not a 20-minute segment on the Twilight Zone. But when Martin Balsam makes the decision that he's going to help them, he smashes up all the equipment like Blair in the middle of the thing so that they can't do anything. They want to be us! Yeah.
Father Malone, I really, really, really don't appreciate you bringing up something I would rather watch than this right now.
Oh, well, sorry. That,
because
on my mind,
good God in heaven, I would rather watch anything than this segment.
Certainly occurred to me while Martin Balsam was doing that. But then instead of like throwing this guy into a cabin and locking him up, he somehow goes back down to the planet. Like nothing in the, it's just so, I mean, maudlin, yes, that's in there. Sort of stupid sci-fi, that's in there. And like, you know, like no interesting characters other than sort of Martin Balsam's character. And that's just because Martin Balsam, you just want to love him. Like, I don't know. This episode is a total failure. It shouldn't have even been filmed.
No, I actually 100% agree with you, Father Malone. This is a really bad segment. Like, at the end of it, they're like, we'll come back, ya hear? It's like, what the fuck was the point of this? Like, you don't care, I don't care, nobody cares, you're all here for a paycheck. Martin Balsam is given just about as much to do as he was in the last segment, where he was like, I see them over there! Those little goblins! They're right.
That's weird.
You see them?
That's effectively the same character. No one believes him.
Yeah,
exactly.
And he was just as much shit in that episode as he is in this episode.
And he's such a good actor.
I know. It's a fucking shame. He is saddled with one of the worst jobs in this show, which is you read the script, you agreed to it, and now you got to do it, and boy, you just don't want to be there, do you? Because he is just fucking sleepwalking through this goddamn episode segment.
Uh-huh.
And it's not, I don't blame him. I don't blame him at all.
Well, and you're wasting Jenny Agutter as well.
Oh, well, yeah.
Jesus. How can they? Saddle them with really stupid dialogue and motivation. That's how.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's... This show has some moments of really good writing and then a lot of moments like this one. And look, Jenny Agutter, this is her second time in the show. And this is far removed from last time, because in that Camelot episode, she was pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'd rather watch that Camelot thing for sure over this.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
Oh yeah. This is just...
Yeah.
The Camelot episode had missteps. This entire thing is a misstep.
It's what's weird to me is, like, I guess what I don't understand is when they sat down to write this segment, what were they going for? Like, what? No, like, because, like, with something like Time and Teresa Golowitz, like, I would say, even if you didn't like what they were going for, they still succeeded in doing that. I don't know what this segment's story was supposed to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, were they trying to tell a story about how we should take care of the planet, or that there's always hope in the future even if we do fuck the planet up, so keep fucking it up?
You know what? Let me mention the one moment I did like, where they're like, yeah, you have to do this for us. And he was like, yeah, no, you had your chance and you did nothing. I'm not helping you at all.
Right.
Like that moment felt real, and the rest of it felt like saccharine formula.
What I also didn't understand was why didn't they show themselves when he asked them to?
Oh yeah, another great moment in this one.
What is this?
Suddenly they're one
Shrek?
foggy evening.
Talk, donkey, talk. Like, I don't want to talk. Like, what?
Ugh.
This segment is just... Oof. I think, Father Malone, I normally try not to get heated about things, but I think you're right. This is bad. So bad that it doesn't deserve to exist.
Yeah, I vaguely remembered watching it as a kid, and then as soon as it started up, I was like, oh, fuck, it's this one.
Yeah. Well, here's to hoping that the final episode of Season 2 is much better than this one, because, boy, it does not have far to go at all.
Bring back the Shadow Man.
Yeah, really.
So on the next and final episode of Season 2 of Dreams for Sale, we're going to be taking a look at the 14th and 15th episodes of the season, Song of the Younger World and The Girl I Married. Until then, where can people find you, Father Malone?
You can check me out at fathermalone.com. I got links to a lot of my stuff there, including Dark Destinations, the podcast I write and produce. It's a half-hour radio drama. You can also hear me over on Chronicles from the Crypt, the show Chris and I do about the HBO television series Tales from the Crypt.
But it is coming to an end.
Yes.
But you'll be able to listen to the entire show on the RSS feed, so no worries if you haven't listened to it up until this point. But if you listen to this show, anthology series are probably your bag, as with TV shows like Barney Miller. So on that note, where can people find you, Mike?
You can find me over at projectionboothpodcast.com. And yeah, you're talking about Barney Miller. Barney Miller, The Life and Times of Captain Barney Miller. That's a podcast that we do once a month where we look at old episodes of Barney Miller.
And as for me, you can find me on Twitter at Christmas Claus. They've mentioned most of the places you can find me. I'll mention one more. The Culture Cast, that's a movie podcast that I do once a week where we talk about film, movies, like a longer version of what we talked about today. So that's where you can find me. As for this show, you can find this show at TwilightZone85.com or TwilightZone85 on Twitter. Big thanks, as always, to Roxy Drive and Neutron Dreams for the music for the podcast, and we'll catch you on the next episode.